Now, the service reflection is more of the written part of the PISD. Once again, it's due once every month, and it's pretty much the same. You navigate it the same way you would navigate a time log. Once you float your mouse cursor, things pop up, not submitted, waiting for approval, return. Same, pretty much same deal, same thing. And there's also these little tabs that you can also click on. So in this case, you can kind of see things that have been not submitted. The ally has not submitted this reflection, and you can click again on the pay period, or the month actually. It's more on the month right here. Is the period is from the 1st to the 31st. So if you click on that link, so once you click that link, this is pretty much what shows up as the service reflections, and it's broken down into 4 different components, one being the placement activities and outputs, which pretty much asks you to reflect on how you're doing in your objective and the goal that you're trying to accomplish in your placement. Snapshots of success after that is pretty broad in terms of what you want to capture, and it's pretty much telling, asking you the stories that you want to share about the personal successes that you have, whether that be in placement or in public allies in general. Underneath that is then the training and learning, where it asks you to reflect on the trainings that you've had, whether that be Friday trainings or in placement, that develop your professional and personal skills. And lastly, we have the volunteer recruitment and management, the asking you what to count the numbers of volunteers that you've recruited and volunteers that and the hours that those volunteers have worked. So that's pretty much the 4 main components of a service reflection. Now, taking it to the very top, with placement activities and outputs, you can see underneath, you can see first the service objective and the statement that's there. In this case, it says the member will write a new bilingual after-school curriculum. And then underneath that, you can describe what you've been doing that whole month that goes towards that goal or that objective. In this case, this person has been researching other nonprofits and contacting some nonprofits about the objective. And so that's what you would write down as far as what describing the activities that you'll be doing in this box right here. Underneath that box is the output measure, so numbers that that you're trying to reach. In this case, the output measure for this particular ally is the number of new beneficiaries receiving the service, and that would mean that the number of people receiving the after-school program curriculum. So you would put that number underneath here where it says new to this pay period. So say the bilingual after-school curriculum was written and it got delivered to 12 students, 12 new students, then I would put 12 here. And then I would mark down which students there are if I can tell. Maybe they're disadvantaged children of youth, and maybe I know at least 6 of them in the way I'm defining disadvantaged children and youth here. So that would go towards there. If not, then that doesn't happen. So it's important to note that the number 12 here has to be new beneficiaries for this position. So in this pay period, so for the month, if only 12 people have received the new service, then you would put 12 only. Now, say this is the next pay period and they come back, the same 12 people come back, and they're the only people that come back to receive the service, then I would put 0. Now, say the 12 people come back along with 2 other new folks, then I would just put 2, because the 12 I've already counted previously, and then the new people receiving the new service is 2. Now after I do that, I would click Save Placement Activities, and then it saves there. Now the snapshots of success are pretty much stories that you want to tell about different obstacles that you may have overcame, aha moments that you've had, or someone you've met that's touched you in some ways. Just asking you really a broad broad perspectives and things that you really want to share as far as your 10 months in the program. So you would add that here, and you would save snapshot of success stories. It's important that you click on these underneath each one. So for placement activities, you select save placement activities. Snapshots of success, same thing, you save it so that it captures and it saves the work that you've already put in, and it doesn't crash on you. Now underneath the training and learning is pretty much what's been going on with you as far as the skills and in as far as the skills that you are gaining in training, whether that be Friday or in placement. And you just pretty much write down what the training was about, the date of the training, and the title of the training, and then you click add or save. And you can add multiple trainings. Now there's also this box underneath the date of training where the calendar pops up, so you can also select what day the training fell on. The last piece is the volunteer recruitment and management. And this is trying to really report on all the volunteers that you've recruited and volunteer hours that those volunteers have generated. So in this case, underneath that is the total number of new volunteers recruited for this pay period, and you want to select maybe other volunteers that are. You want to categorize the volunteers that are coming in or that you've recruited or managed. So for baby boomers, maybe you've included you were able to recruit 2 new volunteers, so you put 2 there, and so on and so forth. It's important to note that they do calculate it at the bottom here. So if you put 2 baby boomers and maybe you had 3 college students come in to volunteer, then the total would be 5 here. And then it also asks you to generate the total number of volunteer hours that these volunteers have generated in here. So if they're volunteering 8 hours, if they volunteered a total of 10 hours, then you just put 10 hours there. And then you want to describe what the volunteers are doing. So maybe they're doing a mentoring middle school students in ELA. So you put that there. Now, as far as the volunteer recruitment management go, we know those pieces are hard to capture. In some ways, it's not an exact science. Sometimes you might get 50 volunteers coming in, and you're trying to remember which one has come back before, which one is new, and so those things are tough, and we know that. But we do ask you to just try your best to guess the number of volunteers that have come in. Now once you do all that, and after you saved volunteer recruitment and management data, and you saved all your trainings and all that, you want to click the review and submit this form, and something pops up that just says save, make sure you're basically the same thing that I just said. And it's pretty much a review, shows you the review page. You were able to review the things that you've written, and then you have to click the boxes saying that you attest to the accuracy of the report, and you write your initials and you submit the report. And after that, then you are pretty much done with your service reflection, and it goes off to your supervisor to look at and approve.